Okay, let's bring in Karl Widerquist. He's an economist and professor of philosophy at Georgetown University here in Qatar. Welcome back to Al Jazeera. So, look, you heard the news. If we look at the U.S. economy right now and the impact this is having on the U.S. economy, who would you say are the biggest winners and losers?
Well, tariffs are the worst kind of trickle-down economics because you have a small number of winners and a large number of losers, and the odds of those benefits going to those winners trickling down to everybody else are really low. The winners are, they will say that the winners are the people in the industries that are being protected, but it's actually the only certain winners are the owners of those industries. If you own a coffee bean growing business in Hawaii, you're pretty happy right now. If you own steel or aluminum producers in the United States, you're going to make bigger profits. But that doesn't mean that your workers are going to share in that. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you're going to hire more workers. It takes an awful long time to grow more coffee beans and to open a new steel plant. And even if you do that, it doesn't mean the workers who work there are going to get a raise. And then while you're doing that, you're directly raising prices on everybody else in the economy. Steel and aluminum are used in almost every industry. All of those industries, the industries, the producers and the consumers are gonna pay for that and be hurt by that. And then while the industries that you're protecting tend to be your weakest industries, the ones that can't compete with foreign companies. And the best industries, the ones that you're hurting, tend to be your best industries, the ones that are competing, and then you open yourself up for retaliation. And foreign countries know what your best industries are. They can target those. Your big export, your ones that are winning the export war, they will target those for retaliation. So it is one that that the benefits are just very unlikely to trickle out.
Karl, hang tight for just a second because we're going to focus on China and the U.S. and take a look at trade between the two countries. So here we have it. We have a relationship that's worth almost $600 billion a year. On paper, most of that trade is from China to the U.S., more than $400 billion worth of goods in that direction, and about $140 billion goes from the U.S. to China. But it's not so simple, is it? Because those products they're quite varied. Raw products like oil and soybeans, you were mentioning soybeans a moment ago, products like airplanes and even Hollywood movies. Just talk us through why that's important, and also for the consumers, are we just sitting here right now and watching prices basically rise in real time?
Oh yeah, that's your first line in something like this is to raise prices if you're a manufacturer, to raise prices immediately, because if you don't, consumers are going to start to hoard what you're producing, and then the consumer and the manufacturer wants to share some of that benefit before the prices go up, so they're going to take some of that in raising prices immediately. Now, what you got to look at, when you look at those American manufacturers, what's going to China, China has a lot of ways to look at this. They can look at this, well, let's just cross the board, retaliate in America by hitting all of these. But another way for China to look is look strategically, what is going to hurt the United States most and hurt us the least? Because whenever you have a trade war, you're hurting yourself and the other country, hoping that the other country will break first. And so if they tax, say, American oil and soybeans, those are pretty basic products. They're gonna suffer. Their supply chains are gonna suffer. They might be willing to do that. But if they target something more like, if they target our entertainment, and then that's something that they can live without, even though, okay, they like our movies, but it's not going to disrupt their supply chains if they can't sell our movies. And then other things like airplane manufacturers, that will hurt them and disrupt their supply things. But it really hurts America's because that's one of our leading manufacturing exports, the very thing Trump says that he's going to boost. It's actually, they're going to show a way that one of our leading export manufacturers is actually going to be hurt by it. That's a big win for China, even if it hurts them, because it shows that they're standing up to the bully.
All right, Karl Widerquist, thank you so much for your analysis.